Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, my question and God's answers. Today we have a series number 77. How to light the light within, the divine light, the eternal light within ourselves. Pranam to Hariharji Maharaj, Guruji, for your blessing, for your guidance, and guiding me to write these books. And with your blessing, they all became #1 bestseller on Amazon. I'm Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Anandam, and follower of Srimad Bhagavad Gita's teaching and Hariharji Maharaj's teachings and guidance. I've been spreading the message of Gita for almost 30 years with Swamiji's Adesh. And teachings are more based on science and spirituality. Being a medical scientist myself, my teachings have a lot of science behind it. So everything I speak about it, I do explain with the spirituality and science, and of course, our own experiences. So thank you very much for joining. And today's series is based on verse chapter 13, 17. Who is divine light? What is divine light? And how to ignite that divine light within? How to practice it? And what is the homework which we can continue to practice at home? And our sankalpa, I am the divine light. Meditation and question and God's answers. So we start with our prayers, just like Arjuna, who asked for guidance and then surrender. And we are the today's Arjuna, who face the similar issues, confusions, dejections. So let's all pray together. Karpanye dosho pahat svabhavaha paschyami pam dharma samudachete yachasaisyani nishchitam bruvatan me shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness and pity. I have lost all of my pleasure and my composure, and my mind is confused about my duty, what to do and what not to do. So please guide me, because I am your disciple and I surrender to you. So as Arjuna lost his heroism, but he asked for the Krishna's advice. In other words, when he was in difficult situation, when he was in Vishad, he was worried, he was fearful. Then he asked his advice from his company, Lord Krishna. So he converted his Vishad into Vishad Yog. Yog means union with the supreme power. So he connected his difficulties and surrendered to his dear friend, which he did not know that it was God, but he had internal feelings because he was guiding him. And after Lord Krishna's guidance, he said, I will do as you advise. Initially, he said, Na karishe vachnam, I will not fight. And then he says, I will do as you advise. So let's all go through that blissful journey for self-purification, self-transformation, and uplift our consciousness and experience ultimate, eternal happiness, Satchit Ananda, the presence of supreme power. So when Lord Krishna heard his prayers, his request, he took him in a beautiful journey and guided him and gave him the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the infinite wisdom, step by step. And in real sense, Bhagavad Gita is an instruction manual to operate our life righteously. And in this particular session, he gives us the true knowledge of who is a creator and who is the creation. In other words, body, individual soul, and supreme soul. Jivatma, Paramatma. He teaches him the difference between them. And ultimately, Arjun gets out of sorrows with his supreme bliss by knowing the creator and the creation, and where does he fit in that whole creation. So finally, he understood the purpose of his life and experienced his true nature, Satchit Ananda. And actually, this quote has been put together by several teachings of Swami Hariharji Maharaj. Where you can see his picture here again. So Lord Krishna, Krishna Bhagwan Ji, guidance and his advice. In 574 verses, the whole Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses, divided into 18 chapters or 18 yogas. And first 3 yogas or the chapters are Karma Yoga. Then the other 6 chapters are Bhakti Yoga. And now we are on the last 6 chapters, which is Jnana Yoga. So first Karma Yoga, how to perform our duty, how to use this instrument of body to do the righteous work. And then Bhakti Yoga with love and compassion. So do whatever we do it with love and compassion. And now we are on the path of Jnana Yoga. Do with love and compassion, but do it with wisdom, with Jnana. And that's where chapter 13 and 18 comes now. And we started our chapter 13 and our verse is 17. But through this wisdom, the true essence of the true nature, the essence of this human life, Lord Krishna guides Arjuna. And he takes each layer of his ignorance one by one, just like onion. When the onion is peeled, after one peel and second peel and third peel and continuously until one gets to the essence, the sweetness of the onion. Otherwise, before, when we start peeling, we get the tears. But after a while, when we reach to the inner core of the onion, we get that sweet part of it. Similarly, Lord Krishna took each layer of his ignorance and took him to his essence of his life, where he ultimately experienced his inner being. He recognized his duty. So in this chapter 13, the Kshatragya Yoga, the path of knowing the creator and the creation. So knowing the difference between body, which is created, soul, and supreme soul. In other words, Jeev, which is this body, Jeev Atma, with this body and Atma is called Jeev Atma, and then Paramatma. So what is the difference? So that this is where the true knowledge is given to Arjuna. So the knowledge of self, who is God? The oneness, how can we experience him? And this knowledge is also known as transcendental knowledge, integral knowledge, metaphysical knowledge. It has many names on it. But ultimately, what it teaches, three things, which is called this Gyan tripod. Who we should know? God, Paramatma. Who should know? We. And what we should know? That wisdom, that knowledge. So that knower, known, object, and how to do it. So basically, Jagat, we are the Jiva Atma, and then the Jagat and Jagdish. So we need to know all these three. But how we will do that? We first have to know what body is. How this Atma, relationship of this body and Atma. And how we will do it? We will find by developing our virtues, divine qualities. This is the true wisdom. And by practicing it, we will experience the oneness with their supreme power. So I call this, we are in 13th grade. We have already graduated, completed our 12 chapters. So 12 sessions are gone. Now, 13th grade, we are in the 13th grade, but we are still in undergraduate college, I call it that. So union with God, self-realization through the path of knowing body, soul, and supreme soul. So become the knower as I am Atma. We all hear that I am Atma, but actually this chapter really helps us to know that this body is temporary, Atma is permanent. And that's why after one body to another body, this journey of the Atma carries on, which is called the journey of the soul. So become that knower and know the known, Paramatma. So this tridal of knowledge, know, knower, and known. But what is required? One must know the true knowledge to become the knower. That I am part of this supreme power and I'm no different and I am God. But to get to that level, there is a lot of work needs to be done. We have to purify ourselves. We have to totally merge with that supreme power. So we learned in previous sessions, what is this body? Body is made with 24 tattvas, Kshatragya. So this body is made with body, with mind, intellect, ego, desires, difficulties, pleasures, all that. And then we also learn the knowledge. What is the true knowledge? The true knowledge, the humbleness, the divine qualities, the humbleness, steadfastness, ahimsa, all practicing the goodness is the true knowledge which takes us to, which help us to merge with God. In other words, what is God? That peace. We get the peace when we get out of those 5 plus 2 enemies, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ankar. So now, who is God? This is the third part of this body, creation, and the creator. Who is the creator? In other words, who is God? We have to know the God. And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna ji explains so well. He says, I am the divine Shakti which operates all these senses in our body. We speak, we hear, we listen, we see. All these are operated with the Shakti behind, the energy, just like we have appliances at home, blender, TV, our phone, all that, they are operated with the current. This fan, ACs, whatever runs, they're all operating with the current. Without the current, none of them will operate. Similarly, if that Atma is not in the body, all these senses become dead. Mouth is there, ear is there, eyes are there, but they cannot see, they cannot hear. So he says, I am that Shakti without all physical senses. He is attached to the sustain of all, free from gunas. He is in this world, but he's the one who operates the whole universe. He's everywhere. We can experience him. Like if we touch the water, we drink the water, we call it Varun Devta is there. Hava, Vayu mein Hanuman ji hai. You know, Vayu Devta is there. Pahadon mein everywhere there is he's in kan and chan. Sometimes in the non-living beings, we cannot feel it. But in the living beings, we can feel like there is small insects, ants, cheetah, chote, they can all are operating. Who is behind it? That the Supreme Power, he's everywhere, whether it's under the ground or above the sky, it's everywhere he's there. And we can feel him, we can experience him through our inner voice when we hear him. And then he says, I'm undivided. Though I look like I'm divided, for example, we see that I am different than you because this is a small body. You are indifferent. But in all of those, the one current is operating, like all the appliances in the house are to the one current. If the fuse is gone, if the fuse is disconnected, then whole electricity is gone in the house. Similarly, we are all being operated by him. So we are all connected with each other. And that's where it says, I am the operator, generator. I am the operator. I am the demolisher. Demolisher does not mean that it's destroyer, but basically this cycle of birth and death. Birth is the generator. Basically, we come to this creation. When we die, then it becomes the demolisher. But all this is his Leela. And that's why it is called God, God. So God is omnipresent. He's omnipotent, which we call it Vasudev Sarvamiti. God is all. So he's in all the senses. He's in love. He's in compassion. He's in kindness. And here it says the generator, operator, demolisher. Here I just put it here. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Because this is how it is more viewed it is. Brahma is the creator and Vishnu ji is more the man giving, operating our life, giving the resources. And Shiv ji is the one Mahakal. It is also called Mahakal. So he is the birth, जिसे कहते हैं birth and death का मालिक है वो. So after that, when he explains that who God is, then ultimately he says in the very last verse of this chapter, this chapter 7, verse 17, he says, I am the source of light. And actually, this is the last verse of when God is explaining who is God, how to recognize him. When we say kan kan mein, chan chan mein, how can we recognize him? So here he says, I am Jyotisham Apitat Jyoti, means the Supreme is also the source of all light. Tamsa Paramam Uchate, Jnanam Yagyam Jnangyamyam Hridayi Sarvasya Vishishtam. In other words, he says, he's beyond the darkness of ignorance. He is the self-knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the goal of the knowledge, realized knowledge, supreme knowledge. And he is seated in the inner psychic of all beings, consciousness of all beings. In other words, God is the light. In him, there is no darkness. He is everywhere. And actually, there is a one verse in chapter 15, verse 16, verse 6, where he says, in his Param Dham, in God, wherever God is, it cannot be illuminated by sun, by moon, by stars, by any light, because it is beyond the illumination. And here he says the Supreme is also the source of light. He is ultimately the light. We think the source of light is sun. Yes, sun is the source of light. But where does the sun get the light? Moon is the source of light. But where does the moon get it? Where do these galaxies, stars get it? It all comes from that supreme source. So God is the supreme source. And without him, there is darkness. But when he is there, there is no ignorance. There is no darkness. And he is seated in the inner psychic of beings. What does that mean? वो सबके हृदय में बैठा है. He is in everybody's heart. He is the consciousness, this divine Shakti, that power within us. He is the light. Here I just put the lamp here. Here you can see the sun here. He's all that. So now, if he's the light, we are, as we also, in previous one of the verses, he's the macrocosm. We are the microcosm. We are the small fragment, like a small drop of the water of a big sea, big ocean. So we have the same elements in us, but God has it. It's just that we have the Atma in the small body, confined in the body. So we are Jiva Atma. We are fragmented in small, different bodies. But he's the one who is Sarvyapi, omnipresence. So how to experience it? How to experience that light? Because sometimes we feel so dark. We get so confused. Like Arjun got so confused. He felt so dark, so depressed. Similarly, we feel in the similar way many times, worried, fear. And sometimes we say, हमको कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता है. It doesn't mean कि हमारी आंखें बंद हैं, our eyes are closed, but हमको दिखाई नहीं देता है, क्योंकि we get disconnected from the source, just like, when the sun is there, and when the big clouds come, black clouds come, we cannot see the sun. Doesn't mean the sun has lost its light, but the black cloud has blocked us to see the sun or get the sunlight through the cloud. Similarly, when we are in a lower conscious level, depressed, confused, we cannot experience, we are ashant. We lose our shanti, our peace. That losing the peace, ashanti, that is the ignorance, that is the darkness. Because we are disconnected with that supreme power source. So how to get connected? Then the question comes, how to get connected? We also know that the purpose of our life is to go beyond these miseries. In fact, the name of our series is Freedom from Miseries, Sorrows and Miseries, from cycle of birth and death. But how to reach there? How to experience ultimate love, peace, Anandam. And this beautiful prayer comes from Upanishad. Asato ma satgamya, tamso ma jyotirgamya, mrittur mam amritam gamya. God, lead me from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So how to practice it? Become aware, as we discussed previously. We should become aware that whenever we are in difficult time, we should be aware. We have to remove our impurities, which we covered in the previous sessions. We have to develop those divine qualities. But first we have to be aware that at what stage we are. Once we know that, then we can make some changes. So we have to live in awareness. We have to witness ourselves. This is the main, because God says in this chapter, I am witness, मैं साक्षी हूँ. So that witness ko we have to develop that self-witness technique. So we have to witness. We become a direct observer. Feel that pure awareness, consciousness. So as observer, distance himself from the constantly changing panorama of the body, breath and mind, the rest in its own nature, Satchitananda. So in other words, that in physical body, with the breath, with mind, we should observe ourselves. See, we are here in the lower conscious level. Here, who I am, we just watch ourselves. It's so beautiful technique, which we had done the meditation on it, how to watch the breath on this and how to become the witness. But that is the main technique. But ultimately, we have to purify ourselves. So how to practice? Here is a calendar. Become the light, the source, the wisdom. How can we become the light? How can we ignite the light ourselves? How can we connect ourselves with the source? And then wisdom and know the known. Know the known means known the object. Well, who is the object here? Supreme power. What to know? The true knowledge, the true wisdom. And we are the knower. We should know ourselves. We are the small knower. God is the big knower. We are the kshetra. We are the field of action. So we should practice. How can we practice? First it says, God is everything, omnipresent, omnipotent. So God is everywhere. This body is temporary. We are a part of the big creation, macrocosm. So in the morning when we get up, we should practice. Read Bhagavad Gita, Guru Granth Sahib, Ramayana, whatever fits in our personality, in our wavelength, or do the Om Mantra, Bhagavad Gita, whatever suits you, one should do that. And then take care of the body. How? Do yoga, pranayam, and meditation. Taking care of the body is the first thing. Bhagwan Krishna Bhagwan ji kehte hain, body is the temple for your soul. You must have a good body. So must take a good care of your body with proper food, proper exercises, and then pranayam. There are many exercises for pranayam. Alom, vilom. Basically, these are all the shuddhi for our breath and aligning and helping us to focus. And then meditation. So it's a preparation for the meditation, actually. All the asanas, pranayam, these are all help us to sit and meditate. And then contemplation and practice one message each day. In previous session, we talked about our qualities, divine qualities, our virtues, what we need to, humility, humbleness, whatever we need, whatever habit we need to develop, whether it's our ego, whether we want to improve our speaking skills, speaking gently, more calmly, want to be more calm, more stress-free, whatever we need to develop, we must take a one particular message and practice during the day. And then in the evening, we should look, evaluate, how did I do it? Did I develop it? And I'm sure you have seen this calendar so many times. Every session we present that one. So I'm sure you must know by heart now that in the evening, you just sit and calmly and evaluate. How was my day? How I want to improve my day next day. And then have a small meditation, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes before going to bed. But then at the end of the day, just surrender. Surrender, surrender. Like Lord Krishna says at the very last verse to Arjun, Sarva dharman paritajya, mamekam sharanam braj, aham tam sarpapebhyo, mokshashyami ma shuchya. Just come to me, do your best, and don't worry about it. I will take care of you. So in summary, this body, this jeev, this field of action, when it is with soul, with the Atma, it becomes Jivatma. Without that, it's a dead body. What's the difference between Jiv and Jivatma? Body, dead body. Everything is there. Hands are there. The mouth is there. The face is there. The body is there. But Atma is not there anymore. So it becomes dead. But when there is a Atma, it is a Jiv Atma. That's the individual being, जैसे मैं हूं, आप लोग हैं. And with divine qualities, with virtues, we learn, we come closer to God, we feel more peace. And this is how we purify ourselves. In other words, whatever is in our subconscious mind, हमारी जो पुरानी आदतें हैं, idiosyncrasies हैं, which are preventing us to go to the next level, fear, worries, some diseases, anger, greed, whatever. We want to get rid of those little by little. This is called self-purification and then transformation. And then we purify ourselves, we free ourselves from these limitations. And then we experience that supreme bliss. We experience, who am I? God is everywhere, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. And we feel oneness with supreme power. That's Satchit Ananda. So the time for homework. Be aware and ask yourself or myself questions. Do self-inquiry. Swadhyaya Abhyasam. But before we do that, very first question, do I have a supreme goal of my life? Do I know the purpose of my life? Why am I here? Am I on the path of divinity, light, lightning, getting out of ignorance? Do I live in awareness? Who am I? Do I live every moment in the supreme consciousness? Do I meditate? Do I witness? Do I practice the Sakshi Bhav? Do I feel and see God everywhere? Omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So self-inquiry is the only path for self-improvement and reach higher self, which says Gunati, we go beyond our limitations and experience our true nature. So practice, practice, practice and witness and become the virtuous and know the knower. Kshetra Kshetrajna, which is the theme of this chapter. Enlighten ourselves. So our sankalpa of today is, I am light. I am the divine light. And once we experience that, but how we do it, we have to take a sankalpa. And this sankalpa is a step-by-step process where sankalpa bhavan, kamasya tattva, sankalpa, setting the goals is important even for living in this world. But ultimate goal, ultimate sankalpa is that I want to reach to the highest conscious level, feel happy and healthy even in this lifetime and peaceful. But the ultimate goal is to experience that presence of Supreme within me, Satchitanand. I want to be that light, and just like God lightens even the sun, moon, all. And we have the same light because He is the Paramatma and we are the Atma. So we have the same fragment, that light within us. We just have to enlighten ourselves to merge with that supreme light. Where Lord Krishna says, again in chapter 15, verse 6, that nothing can illuminate me, even sun and moon or anyone, because I am that ultimate light which illuminates the whole universe, including them. So it illuminates that Atma is the one which illuminates us. So our goal is to experience that light. But it is not a very fast process, like a quick process. It's a very slow, little by little. So we should have a patience, but we should put the seed of divinity, spirituality, and let that seed grow into plant, tree, bear the flowers and the fruit, and then share with the rest of the world. And this Bhagavad Gita teaches us, takes us little by little to the ultimate Satchit Ananda. So thank you very much to attend and join the session, how to light the light within. So I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you very much. And experiencing the freedom from pains and miseries. So enjoy happy, healthy, and peaceful life. Thank you.